Radio. Okay, so I have been seeing a lot of stuff about diamonds lately, okay? Lots of stuff about diamonds. Alright? Very late me, penniless and nameless. Everything has a name, guy. Everything is associated in a number. Okay? Diamonds. I'm seeing diamonds everywhere, guy. Your Superman diamond. Okay? Now we're going to talk about that because I'm going to talk about the analog code that I filmed over the weekend about the game of pool. Okay? I'm trying to show you how to see creation in a game, okay? The numbers of creation are riddled in the game of pool, okay? And I find that they're very closely related, which is why I enjoy my recreational activity or hobby, okay? Now, so yeah, continuing on with diamond mines, here's a hat, okay? A hat that I saw this weekend, okay? Now, I think it was purchased at Walmart. It says ha 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 ha, the Joker. Now, I don't know if I can make that bigger. Yeah. Okay. What is this? Okay, it's an 8-1, 8-1, 8-1, 8-1, 8-1, 8. Okay, a bunch of 9 by 9 matrices. Okay, and I get it. You know, do you see it? Do you see it? No? Maybe? Whoa, I just did that. Ah. Hit the X. And there'll be an advertisement. I apologize greatly for this. Yeah, whatever. I'm probably not gonna go check the talking stuff. Born in a diamond mine. Diamond mine. Okay, so there's your Joker. Okay, there's your Armageddon diamond again. Okay, what I failed to realize about this, I was gonna do a little decode of this hat, but you know, I figured out later that the R, the E, the K are capitalized. Maybe even the O is capitalized, but the J looks like it's below the line here, so I'd say that's a lowercase j. So everything's kind of like backwards, and maybe the diamond signifies like the dot on top of the J. So I was like doing some decoding there earlier, um, you know, about actually. All right, here's the link to the page. Okay, you know, like check it out. I even have a Joker tab now, where I was looking at the Joker and linking it back to pool. Now, again, I made this video a long time ago. The game of pool is a depiction of creation. April 13th, okay? The reason I did this is because of these balls, the pool balls and the 69 down here, or the 96 down here, with your one ball and your cue ball, and your two pieces of cue symbolizing either two players playing with one-dimensional lines, you know, but with one stick in this beautiful thing. Anyways, it showed me a pattern here that I was able to recreate just by, you know, making a one and then making another one, okay? You have 15 balls in a triangle. When you put the first ball, that is a one. When you put the first three balls, that is a new one. Now, if you remove the first ball from those three balls and you continue putting the balls, you're eventually going to get a honeycomb. That is another one. And then when you fill up the triangle, all 15 balls, that is another one. There are lots of ones, guy. I don't know how many times I have to say this. But yeah, okay, so I started off with making a video. Okay, I don't think I had it on the right screen. So this, again, is what I was talking about. And I made a video on, you know, 15, 10, 13. You know, 15, 10, 13. Okay, so we're going to go over this. Okay, we're going to go over the cellular numbers and all the little patterns and bits and baubles that I see. Okay, guy? And in the end, we're going to link it all back to Armageddon and link it all back to the game of pool. Okay? And how it all computes to 15 cells. Okay? It is literally, probably too big. Yeah. It is literally, guy, 15 cells. It's 15 cells. Okay? This purple and pink logo. But look, you have a 1x3 here. You have a 1x3 with a 1x2, 1x3, 1x2, 1x3 with a 1x2. That looks an awful lot like the top capstone here, where we created a bunch of 1x2s where the 1x3s meet at the node of time. So what we end up getting at the end is basically 3 walls. Okay? Ugh. 3 walls. Okay? And the middle 6 things here are symbolizing the 6 pockets. Okay? These guys. The 6 black holes in the game of pool, which will now make up 11 sixes, because in the previous one we actually count all the sixes. And, you know, if the Q is your 12 ball, the 12 is just a 6 plus 6, which, you know, kind of shows you how there's 2 teams. Now, if you take a 12 and you circle a 1, circle a 2, circle the whole thing, it's really a 2 and a 3 all in a circle, which is a 5 all in a circle, which is your 6. So there's your third 6. Now, if the 6 is the 8 ball, okay, there's your fourth 6. And if you take the Q and you add it to each of the corners of the racked triangle, they all sum to 66. Okay? If you take this row right here, okay, 14, the top, going down to the 15, and you sum them, you get 63. But what you're also making is, this is a depiction of a 1. Okay? That is a depiction of, make that beefier, of a 1. Why? Of, sure, of a 1, okay? But really what it is a 1 by 1 dot, and a 1 by 1 dot with a 1 by 3 line. So if that's a 1, that's a 1, and that's a 1, it'll be 63 plus 3, which is 66. Now that's also interesting. But wait, it gets better. If you actually sum these guys up, you get 45. Okay, that's not 66, I'm sure. But check it out. It's actually 55, because what are you doing here? Look, you're creating a 1, a 1, and a 1. Okay, we're going to count from 45 to 55. We need 10. So there's a 1, 2, 3. There's a 4. There's a 5. There's a 6. Okay. There's a 7. There's an 8. There's a 9. And there's a 10. Okay, that is a circle 2 all by its lonesome in the middle. Okay, 45 plus the 10 is 55. But look, you're also making more advanced Roman numerals than a 1. You're making a V here and a V here. So a double V. Now, add up 55, because now you're talking letters and numbers, kind of, right? If you take your 55 and throw it in brackets for the addition of all of the cells, plus the one-dimensional lines making circles, get your plus 1 because you're making a new 1, and it's part of something greater. So your 55 is going to be in brackets. You're going to add a V and a V, which is adding a 5 and a 5, which comes to 66. So I find this all rather interesting, how we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sixes in this page. But when you look at the pool table itself, you actually have 6 black holes on your table itself for your 11 sixes or your 66. Now, what I find interesting about this depiction, okay, is that the pool table itself is a depiction of your vision of the two-dimensional screen that you view and observe as an observer in Earth, okay? It's not going to be a square, it's going to be a rectangle, okay? So depending on where you're standing, so if you're an observer over here and you're looking at the pool table, this would, you know, kind of be your left eye, that would be your right eye. You get it? Anyways, it's what you view the Milky Way galaxy in. Now, if you think of a cue ball hitting a racked grouping of balls, it's going to create a constellation in the galaxy, guy. And every time you hit a ball and balls fall down into the black holes, or they don't, you're changing the constellation that you see with your four walls. Okay? Which kind of emulates what I believe is like, look, you got a little U here, and you got a little U here. It's like two things. Maybe it's two tetrahedrons, okay? Because this looks like you could put a Y right here, right? And this looks like you can put a Y right here, which would fold and make a tetrahedron. But remember, like I said before, that all these guys are symmetrical. Your icosahedron, your dodecahedron, your octahedron, and your cube, but your tetrahedron looks like you need another half. So, yeah, anyways, so, diamonds. I'm seeing diamonds everywhere. Okay, there's this song. Let's look at this song for a second. Okay, Jeff Beck, Loudhailer. Okay, what's right here? It says wake up. Over here it says A with a question mark. Now I find that's very interesting that Jeff Beck would have a big Canadian A in his circle. Okay, it says we have hope, and I'm something for the something. I don't know what that says. Us, US. The revolution will be televised. Okay, look at all these little faces here. Okay, I like the song. Right? I also like this song. Is it here? That's not that one. Why is that? I don't want that here. That can go away. Yeah, it's here. Here's another song by Real Big Fish. Now, okay, getting back to I'm seeing diamonds everywhere, I'm also seeing dodecahedrons within the diamonds. Now, this diamond, okay, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines to create this diamond, which is kind of like what, guy? What is that like? It's like a pentagon. Okay? Now you Google pentagon and you get lovely images of the actual pentagon. And then you scroll down to this image and your life changes. Okay? Right here. This is all you need. Okay? There's your 108. Okay, what do I say the numbers go? They go 108. And then they go 92. Oh, no problem. 10872. Okay, no, where's the 9? Alright, so we gotta count some stuff. So if we have 72 to get to 92, we need an additional 20. So where are we gonna find this 20 from? It's all right here. How many dots, how many lines are there literally depicted on this? Okay, we literally have, okay, 1. So let's just say 72, 73. Hold on a second. Before we do that, I'm going to clarify one thing. Because a pentagon is a type of dimension of resolution, okay, if you were to rotate it and make a new pentagon, the circle would become more macroscopically detailed. The resolution would be higher. Meaning that if you were to put another pentagon, okay, in between the straight lines here, just by rotating this and breaking it up, these little sections of roundness would be shorter, thus making them, I would say, more precise. And the more infinite number of pentagons you overlay, you will finally eventually get this smooth curve of your circle. And the same thing goes with this zeroth dimensional singularity, okay? I think the more refined it gets, the more it changes microscopically. It's kind of like how the Mandelbrot set goes into the page. Now, like, again, we're looking at the Mandelbrot set, and we're going to zoom our resolution, okay? So I've never seen this one before, but let's just see what happens. Okay, where's it going? You know, you're finding something, and I guess now we start. Okay, look at that, I make a V. So, without going and wasting everyone's time, you can obviously see how, you know, the microscopic and the macroscopicness, okay, of the resolution. So, I was on the pentagon, which is here. So we're not going to count this zero-dimensional singularity because the more refined it gets, the more it changes, and we're not going to count the one-dimensional line that encircles the whole thing because we know it's always going to be broken up. So if we take 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. I hope you followed that. I took the 72 and made it into a 92. Now you have a 10892, which are the first 5 numbers of what I believe number is in cellular creation. Okay, that's these guys right here. Okay, that's kind of hard to see blue on blue. So, okay, let's look at the Q. I didn't look at Q yet. Okay, so Q is C-U-E. It's how you spell the cue ball. It also kind of reminds me of the number Q, or the letter Q. So, let me just make it bigger here. Why not? Okay, so Q, if you actually break it into numbers, is actually going to be your 3, 21, and your 5. And your 3, 21, and your 5 is your 29. And your 29 is literally a capital C. Find that interesting. Now, the difference between the letter Q and capital C is 12. What's your cue ball? 12. Okay? How many 6s do you see on this page? Bolded. You see 10 on, this half, sorry. You see 10. And there's your 11 in the table itself. 11 sixes is, 66 from a certain point of view, or it's the 17. Okay? Now 17, again, a Q. Okay, if you have a capital Q, which is basically a circle with a one-dimensional line going equidistant from the center of the circle out of the circle, it basically makes a perfect spot to create a new circle where the new line is with no circle around it, and thus starts a cellular creation. If you always have a sticky outy bit, you always have room to expand. That's why when I build something, I'd like to build a circle, which is basically, let's say, a hexagram, which won't be a circle, it'll be a hexagram, but it'll be connected to other hexagrams. Okay? And then you can start to build the floor plan. I think that would be interesting. So, again, let's just go back to this one. Wait a second. Before we go too far, because this is all like not really, I don't know, I don't really have any idea what's going on. So let's just get rid of, okay, let's go back here. We don't need the Mandelbrot. Okay, born in the diamond mine. You guys get that yet? Seeing diamonds everywhere, guy. Okay, so like, that's funny. So yeah, there's your Joker. There's your diamond that I saw. I don't need to go into any further detail about the Joker. Now, I got a lot of interesting things. So here you go. We were listening to Creature Comfort, okay? Now, Creature Comfort, I actually geometried it. Okay, here you go, 181, 1086, 7. Like, again, whatever. This is stuff I do for myself because I like to see things like quantum code healing. Okay, this is kind of like what I get my faith from. Okay, God, creator of man's breath. Okay, the breath. God is the matrix, kind of gives me hope that I'm on the right path. But, you don't have to, you don't have to take my, whatever, Austin is nothing. Okay, lots of stuff. Austin is nothing. So, okay, you can gematria. Okay, again, like Arcade Fire, they talk a lot about painless. Make it painless. Just make it painless. Okay, painless. Okay, born in a diamond mine. But right here, it's where it changes, right? It says, it's not painless. She was a friend of mine, a friend of mine. That kind of tells me that painless is more like a noun for the name of a girl who's a friend of this dude, you know? So now you go read everything, just make it painless. It's kind of like trying to pump yourself up. Like, just make it, Kevin. Just make it painless. You know, it's names, guy. Everything is given a name, which is a number, okay? Uh, yeah. Bury me penniless and nameless. Okay, nameless? I'm sorry. It's kind of impossible. Everything is designated a number. Okay? Doesn't matter. All it depends on the person's point of view. So I'm gonna go over this, but I checked out make it painless, which made me smile because right here 470. Okay, read it backwards. It's kind of like a 174 if a zero is a one. So I thought that was a very powerful number. Now make it painless. Look at that right off the bat. Trump, like 20,000 searches, guy. So okay, Russia important. Toronto. Okay, so mental illness. Sure, religious. Why not? The Grim Reaper. House of God. We're talking about creating a cellular free energy device. Okay. The Lord's coding. Got it right. I am autism. Yeah, sure guy. Numbered Bible King. Okay. Yeah, it's on the first page. Okay. It's just, I like to do this. I don't spend much time on the Gematria. You guys can spend the time on the Gematria if you care. Okay, what is Gematria? The Antichrist. Okay, guy? So, Freddie Mercury, Stephen Dyson, of course, in his purest, rawest form is here. Queen of Babylon. Wonder who that could be. So, Queen of Hearts, Mystery of Life, God of Gematria, the God of Gematria. God is with us. Okay. Andromeda Paradox. Great. More celestial stuff. So, okay, I'm not going to bore you too much. Okay, Born in a Diamond Mine I thought was worth looking up. And it's equal to, again, here is 174 in simple gematria. Triple four just for fun and a 1044. Okay, what does that mean? I don't know what that word means. Those few searches. Galactic Federation. Okay, demons are coming. Yeah, okay. I think they're here. Spirit of Life. Okay, yeah, astonishing. I don't know. So, okay, let's just get rid of all this. There's a point. Everyone else is an asshole. Okay, there's another song I've been listening to, which is from Real Big Fish. Okay, now, what do you see in a dodecahedron? In a dodecahedron, you have 12 faces, and your 12. Let's just look up dodecahedron. Okay, that would be right here. Dodecahedron. Now here's a good little story for you guys. Now here, look at this, right here. This guy right here, this is how you can print this out and cut it out and make your own little dodecahedron. You can obviously see that it's 12 pentagrams. Okay? Nothing like shocking here. But I wanted to see what an icosahedron looks like inside of a dodecahedron. I don't have any software to do this, but thank God Google's here and I saw this. This is neat. No, that's not it. I get excited. Of course, you have to go for look at all the, there's a lot of like Fibonacci spirals and stuff, guy. Like literally, do you see? Like anyway, but the one that I found super amazing, which of course, like right here, I wanted to see an icosahedron inside of a dodecahedron, and that means that the vertice of the icosahedron will be the center of the face of the dodecahedron. And look at this. It's from somewhere called Dodecahedron, the Left Hand. Bandcamp. So this is a band. There you go. There's the band, The Left Hand. Okay. It's a horrible song, guy. Wow. Like, Yikes. Yikes, yikes. So there's your dodecahedron inside of, icosahedron inside of your dodecahedron. Now, the reason I bring this up again is because in cellular energy, I believe that, again, your 5 elements are all part of the number sequence over here. And we've gone over how this board, the 9x9 matrix, symbolizes a 1, 2, 3, 4, that's your tetrahedron, that's your hypercube, that's your icosahedron, that's your dodecahedron, and that's your, octahedron, dodecahedron, icosahedron. My bad. It's important to note that you're making energy, which is fire, but everything's inside of a grid of a cube, hypercube. It's just your array of antenna magnets are going to be in a cube, and everything is going to be inside except a few of the wheels. Anyways, free energy and stuff. Superman diamond is super important because it has 5 faces. Now look at this. Okay, this is a pentagram. The pentagram, right here, kind of looks like the diamond, right? Born in a diamond mine. Okay, what other diamonds do I see? Oh, okay. Well, playing foosball on the weekend, I heard this song by Real Big Fish. I found that to be interesting. What does Real Big Fish mean? Okay. Like, I like seeing that. 142, whatever. Or 241. I think that's pretty important sequence, but anyway. Right off the bat, like, boom. 666, 111, 241, again. Dark hidden name, well, who's that, right? Sergio. I used to, whenever I saw Sergio, I used to text Sergio. I don't do that anymore. So anyways, these are just pretty, interesting. I'm going to go like da 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 because I think the English ones are a little bit more interesting. Turkey, kind of interesting how a job opportunity kind of fell from Turkey. Taurus, Lee as Bible code. Austin Lee Meredith. I am light beam. Interesting. I am in love. The guru, Dove Love, okay. Am elder math. Okay. I am Christ, Interesting. Okay, so real big fish means I am Christ. I wonder if they know that. So World Bank, Jesus God, like seriously guy. So anyways, Elia, a KJV Bible. I just find that all. Anyways, whatever. Get rid of it. But the important thing about real big fish is that everyone else is an asshole. I found that interesting as well. So everyone else is an asshole. Again, 1809, 1632, 272, whatever. Okay. There you go, guys. Think what you want to think. Just labeled mentally deranged. I believe in one main divine being. Yeah, the creator of our battery. Yeah, Wolverine. Everyone else is an asshole means Wolverine. Powerful truth. Jesus in love. Will fight against communism. Downright psycho. Whatever, guy. Your discernment is interesting. I am that I am, and I love you all. Carson Wentz. Look at that. Isn't he the shit in Philadelphia this year? Yeah, by the way, yeah. Like, I've been seeing 322 everywhere, too. Because, that's a symbol for ego. Sunflower seeds. Do you see it? Okay, this is made by a company called Crispy Kernels, a KK. And what do they do on the front? Okay, you have a see-through KK, which is an 11, and an 11, which is a 22, and you have 3 sunflowers for a 322. Yeah, maybe, eh? Yeah, 322 is just a symbol for ego. Maybe if you depict your merchandise with ego on it, you do better financially. I don't know. But anyway, look at this. Cellular communication systems. Everyone else is an asshole. People who emulate Christ. It's just a way of being. A way of not being an asshole. Okay? Adam ruins everything. I like to see stuff like that. I like to ruin everything. There's no such thing as a schizophrenic. Okay? The Christed Jesus descended into hell. All the Bibles are the work of Satan. Okay. I'm just, yeah, I like this one too. None awake in Saturn are good. Okay. Because Because why? You know, I think it's pretty evident from these days. Um, yeah, I'd say so. You gotta like kind of, I guess, pull from the heart, and just do, and just be. Sure, guy, you know. So like, yeah, I try to like put some things together. I've been trying to turn my brain off, and I like, to decode stuff. And there's a show on TV, that I like to decode. Uh, this little show, Game of Thrones. These guys. There's a theme with Jaime Lannister and Cersei. It's like they are the only ones in the world that matter. Okay. These guys are assholes, but I think, now that, Littlefinger's gone, the Satan character, I think that these two people kind of represent the necessary evil needed in order to create the innovation and technology and advancement to get to where we currently are at this time and place in the now. Okay, the necessary evil needed for creation. I think that's what Jamie and Cersei symbolize. Okay. Okay, these guys are assholes, okay? Because right here, this green dot is a dodecahedron. Okay? You're gonna like I don't think I can hold on. If I do like what is it? Control print screen? Oh, my paint's not working. And trust me, you go look at this, and this is a dodecahedron, and you see those white dots in the green? Okay? That to me looks like a diamond. You have a zero-dimensional singularity at the bottom. You have a one-dimensional line going to here. You have a zero-dimensional singularity. You have a one-dimensional line going to here. A zero-dimensional singularity. Then you're gonna go to the top part, and then it kind of like mirrors, with this other dot. It's an artistic kind of Superman diamond. So not only does it have like the Superman diamond or the Armageddon diamond, which is really important because we're going to talk about pool eventually. And when you rack balls in a pool, it's kind of like a diamond. So, you know. Um, and not only mention that pool has a term called English or side spin, English spin or side spin, and there's English gematria, and there's even diamonds on the pool table itself. Okay, the little diamonds in between the pockets. So, all right. So the even real big fish, okay, I believe they're assholes, guy. Okay, so here's the English ones. Here you go. Austin the Great Profaner. Okay, I think that says Austin the Great Profaner. Now, I don't care what you think of me. I don't care if you don't like. Okay? Like, I just find it interesting that I think the bad words mean the good numbers. Everything's backwards. Okay? So, yeah, I'm decided gematria is abomination. Yeah, I think if you're pre-calculating things and not just going with your gut, but, to decode stuff, you kind of have to go into this level. Sure. Our children, our future. Yeah, I'm still with the whole free energy, cellular energy with magnets. Yeah, but there was an interesting one here. I think. I don't know. I don't know. Like you don't have to watch these. Austin's eighth chakra open. I like that. And the origin of O negative blood. Now, this is where we get into some more tangent storytelling by Kevin, because Kevin tends to do that. So, again, watching this. Really? That was depressing. There we go. I apologize. Okay. do you an axle, a steel axle? Okay, you need a steel axle penetrating a dodecahedron with an icosahedron inside of it, where I believe a black hole will be created by 14 eddy currents in the water. With when you introduce electrolysis with 2 rings acting as 1 and 3 rings acting as 1 with different voltages going into the salt water, okay? And that whole thing makes me think of gardening and hydroponics guy, okay? Because like what I'm literally describing is a closed system. Where is it? Obviously, guy. What other chapter would it be? Okay. So when you look at hydroponic gardening, okay, and I don't know, let's not read, but let's just look at the pictures. Okay, so these are your pictures. Okay. Now, to me, it looks like there's a reservoir and a pump and a hose going in and a hose returning to the reservoir. That is what I think is needed in the cellular energy model. Now, if you were to have a reservoir with the water coming in when the speed of the turning axles reaches a high enough RPM, I believe the eddy current, and again, I just feel like I don't want to lose anyone, okay? Because I always, okay, eddy current and water, okay? Like, you see, it's a, here, there you go. It's a whirlpool, an eddy current. Or maybe that. Sorry, spelt it wrong. There, this. It's like a Fibonacci curl that comes off of a stream, a one-dimensional line. So, where was I? Was eddy currents? Oh yeah. So you have in the center of heaven, in the free energy cell, you have dead space. I think that dead space needs to be filled up with a 3D printed dodecahedron with a 3D printed icosahedron inside. Now, isn't it funny that I keep saying that the Earth has 5 testicles? Now, if we go back to the dodecahedron model, if this flat 2-dimensional face or plane or pentagon was your base, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 testicles, and these would be the tubes. You'd have to 3D print like straws going up to the top, okay, to return the water to source, because I think that these would have to be they'd have to be coming out of the plane a little bit at the corners so that the water buildup would be not leaving the bottommost axle, because right here in the center is where your Your free energy or your cellular energy wheel axle will be protruding the dodecahedron from the direct bottom. Now, if you have a steel axle, that your arm is steel. Your arm is a sword. Okay? So if your sword is piercing the dodecahedron, water will want to seep from here unless the corners of your pentagon that are created around it are lower. Hence, 5 testicles. You know, I'm sorry if you don't like my nomenclature, but that's just the way I sees it now. Where was I going with diamonds? Diamonds and pool. I was talking about, okay, yeah, that. Oh yes, I was here. So, this scene is interesting to me because he talks about the Braavosi water dance, and it's not hacking and slashing like the Westerosi fighting style. And water, okay, water is needed in cellular energy device. You need to have the waters. It's like one of the first things in Genesis 1 is the waters. I think there's literally waters in the model because when you use electrolysis or perform electrolysis with water, salt water or whatever, you get a byproduct of hydrogen that you can burn off and turn into heat, and you have a oxygen, O2. That's the reaction. So I guess you need a reservoir because if this is going to dissipate, or whatever, you need to have a system, a closed loop. Again, everything has to be a closed loop system. So seeing these Superman diamonds everywhere, basically to me is a different way of representing a pentagram. It's almost even like a 7-pointed star because if you take your flux capacitor Y and invert it, instead of going this instead, and keeping that pentagram there, it kind of almost makes the 7-pointed star, which is again another very, very, very large reference in the Game of Thrones series. Now, this is interesting because... Oh. "9 years, first sword, Braavos, I don't know." Yes. You must listen to me, boy. Okay, so you are a sword, that is all. Now again, the sword here also is the Fibonacci sequence. And the Fibonacci sequence, with your hilt going through the heart, it's like your snake going around, like, whatever, it's all that stuff. Your medical cross, all those medical emblems with the sword and heart and snake curling around it, I think are all derived from the right hand of God in the 9x9 matrix. Believe me or not, I really don't care. Radio. A needle. Okay. It's an axle. You're holding an axle. Okay, I think that's a lot of symmetry with King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Whole thing with the sword and shield. Knights. Okay, so I want to bring it back to the water. Okay, now think of it this way. If you have a closed system, if you have an icosahedron, which is 6/7 filled with water, allowing 1/7 of room for, Armageddon or the floaty stuff at the top, okay, in your contained 3-sided reservoir. Obviously, there'll be one coming out of the page and into the page for your 5, I guess, but your top is open. So light has to shine it. Now, what I think is interesting is that if you're having return water, okay, so if your runoff water goes back into a reservoir where, let's say, you add nutrients or something to the solution, and then the improved, the nutrient reservoir, okay, what if that pumps up the water back into the, earth? Literally, the earth, the dirt, okay? If you pump the water back into it, wouldn't that be considered like, let's say, it's similar. It's still water, but it's different water because it had nutrients or energy pumped into it a little. The solution was refined or added to. Now, the way I think of that in the cellular energy model, because if you're creating plan of ET, okay, if you're creating your own galaxy, okay, to create hopefully energy, which could provide you with, infinite wealth if you used it correctly, guy. It reminds me of the two different types of blood in all of the universes that are currently in the Earth. Okay? So, what do we got for blood types, guy? Okay, we have your Rh positive and your Rh negative. Now, it seems to me that the Rh negative would be the 15% of the population, okay, which is just 1 divided by 13, or 2 divided by 13. 2 divided by 13 is 15.38%, okay? Which just means duality divided by... I don't remember why I did that. Anyways, whatever. 1 of 7 of 13 comes to mind. But think of it this way. If your Rh negative water is being pumped in with more nutrients and whatever to feed the earth that is already there, you know, that to me is the Rh negative blood. And when you go back to this scene, let's just keep watching. Okay, again, the waters of the people who live in your battery. Some will be the natives, the locals, the Rh positives, okay? And then you'll have the aliens, the Rh negatives that are coming in. The new water that's been treated to give more energy to the earth. That's all. Anyway, I've been reading about, like, I do see the value in this. Like, if I ever were to design a house, I don't think I would design a house where it didn't have a indoor greenhouse area that was large enough to actually put a dent in what a family would need to sustain life and eat, because that's the kind of thing we all need to do every day. So I've been looking at this. So, if I had kitchen, dining room space, I'd probably have the exact amount of room for the kitchen room and dining room as a attached one of these. If not, hopefully a lot larger. But anyway, so I'm looking at that stuff. I'm seeing synchronicities with how the cellular energy probably has water feeding it in, so it always has water in it. Again, now think of this. You know, I just like the way he puts that. I really do. Okay, whatever. But back to this. This kind of reminds me, dodecahedron. Okay, what about this? Uh, Buckyball dome. Yeah, like again, this is a very interesting shape. Okay, now how did I want to? Remember, I said I'd have a bunch of hexagrams, and I would create a hexagram, and then a hexagram adjacent to it with the one-dimensional line of the Q. Do you see what I mean with the Q? You like have a circle, which is a hexagram, but then you have a one-dimensional line coming off it to here as your capital Q. And then you have another place to build off a new one, and then you make another Q to here, and then you make another. You know what I mean? It's cellular. So think of building a buckyball dome structure over a cellular energy device that creates O2 and heat in the form of burning off the excess hydrogen inside a buckyball. It kind of reminds me of... Viva Los Biodome guy. So, anyways, find that interesting. So, what is this here again? Yeah, I believe in me. I don't think anyone else has got it right. I knew that was there for a reason. But yeah. You got your diamond, your Superman diamond shining on the dodecahedron with your pentagram coming out of your third eye, making an eighth black hole on your face. Okay? So, yeah, 10892. I think that's proper. Okay, so we're getting rid of stuff. Everyone else is an asshole. Okay? The origin of O negative blood. So I think, let's talk about blood some more. Okay? Because it's very fascinating. Do you see it? Do you see the IHS logo read backwards in the middle if you were to make a triangle? Okay, if you were to take the T and the O as one singularity, the B and the A as another singularity, and the SHI as another singularity, and made a triangle with it, wouldn't it not say shit OBA? SHI is on top, let's say, and then you read top to bottom, left to right, it would say shit OBA. Now, OBA are your blood types. Or the T could just be a cross, okay? Because you have four different blood types. You have AB, well, you got B, A, wait, how do I usually do this? I usually do AB, A, no, AB, B, A, O. AB, B, A, O. Four blood types on the cross, and you have Rh positive and Rh negative. IHS, shit, OBA, the shit boat. I don't know. Toshiba. Spelled like that for a reason. Okay. So, that's how I see that. You don't have to see it that way. It doesn't really matter. So, yeah, everyone else is an asshole. Mysterious Journey. Okay, Soulmates of the End Days. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Starship Enterprise. Okay, Earth's internal magnetic field. Cellular Earth. Now, Cellular Earth. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's, I think, something else. Number of man is king of kings. Sure, whatever. He's obsessed with numbers. Interesting. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. So, let's get rid of that. Oh yeah, why is this here? This is here for a reason. Let's get rid of that. That doesn't need to be there anymore. Oh yeah, want to see Diamond's guy? Right here. See the diamond? I don't know if I can make it any bigger. Yeah, that's as big as it gets. But trust me here, there's a one-dimensional line here, one-dimensional line here, one-dimensional line across the top. There's your diamond. Yeah. You know? It's right here. I'm trying to tell you what the matrix is, guy. You know, Yeah, you have a regular pentagon with annotations. Okay, you know. The fact that the universe is so big, nothing else matters, and his eyebrow twitched. No, guy, you are the universe. The false association with the ever expanding universe is a archaically outdated, in need of a revision way of thinking. The you and I verse, okay? I like that. I like this too. You're trapped in. And I like that they have the globe in the back. You're trapped in there. Okay, so, anyways. It's just what I do, guy. Yeah, I have faith. Okay, so I think we've talked about the dodecahedron enough. I think we talked about the fact that the icosahedron is inside of the dodecahedron, and this must be all 3D printed. And I think that there needs to be enough space for water to be there. Because, you know, it's just the way it is. Okay. Inside heaven, there's 174 magnets. You have 5 rings. You have 5 rings. 32 magnets per ring, 36 spaces on the ring, which means there are space for 4 bearings to allow the 4 axles to rotate, okay? You're going to have a sphere. You're going to stab it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the cube has 6 faces, but you're also going to stab it against all the vertices of the cube, meaning the bottom 2 corners, the bottom 2 corners, the top 2 corners, and the top 2 corners. And if you fill the inside of that, okay, so the rings of heaven are going to be, again, everything is going to be watertight. I think you're going to have to assemble it, and it'll never be watertight truly because you need the eddy currents to be strong enough sufficiently. Because when you have eddy current, okay, remember it gets bigger, and that means the water is not going to go where the axle is because the axle will be like shooting off the water. So you'll literally stop, literally dripping is what I think, eventually, into the lower shapes that you have to collect it. But, you know. So we've talked about this to death. We've talked about the similarities with the diamonds. Now look at the diamonds, okay? Like, okay, diamonds on a pool table. Like, there are literally, there's a lot of ways of looking at it, okay? You can literally read a lot about how to properly, you can watch YouTube videos on how to properly use the diamonds. I don't want to go into explaining all this, but they're just the little hashes on the side of the table. Like, this is all I'm talking about. These are the diamonds. Okay, I just want to clarify that. And again, like, how to use English or side spin, okay? Like, that is a thing, okay, guy? Understanding English, which I find interesting because of, I don't know, like the English gematria. So, just get that off the table. Now, again, we're talking about pool. That's a game. Okay. How about darts? That's a game. Okay. Who do you think developed the game? I think a bunch of Masons developed the game, and I think they modeled it around creation. Okay. The truth of creation. Okay. Why doesn't anyone ask why is a dartboard the way a dartboard is? Okay. Well, look at this right away. Thanks to my buddy from England. Okay. When you get a triple 20 with all 3 darts, that's 180 points. You know, your 108 are your 3 first characters. Your 108 and your 180. And look what it makes, guy. It makes like a perfectly, like, it looks like a 3-bladed fan, you know? That's interesting to start off, right? 108, 9. 9's here. 9 is pretty much in the 9 quadrant of the square, but literally the line between, the metal line between the 9 and the 12 would be the absolute middle of the 9 quadrant. And isn't that interesting that the 9 is in the 9 quadrant at a 45 degree, which is a 9, bordering a 12, which I believe is what should be used as a cue ball in pool, because having your cue ball with a stripe on it is immensely useful when playing pool and shooting your ball with English or side spin. So I haven't really broken this down, but like look at what it is. Okay, this is a depiction of creation. Okay, pool is a depiction of creation. Okay, golf is a depiction of creation. Okay, now, okay, I don't need all these things. Yeah, this was kind of neat. All right, so like last night before I went to bed. Okay, so last night when I stayed up, I basically did these 4 pages of math. Okay, just and even a little bit of the Joker. Okay, but I'm not done that. I got to revise that. So I did all this shit. Okay, just because it's really frustrating when you have kind of the day that I had or the weekend I had, where you kind of come up with these eurekas or conclusions, and you have absolutely no one that you can share them with because no one gets you. Okay. Whatever, queued up for the next time. So, last night when I was, after all my math, I looked up 2017, when Kevin decided to decode pool. Because my jaw hit the floor when you look at the proper number sequence that the ball should be orchestrated in pool. I was able to derive that you make a V. Okay, where do you make it? We talked about this, okay? We talked about this stuff, okay? We've talked about this stuff. We've talked about this stuff. We've talked about what I have here and here, where the 6 is now your 8 ball. Okay, the green ball is now your black ball. The all-encompassing 6. The 6 faces of the cube. Now, what I find is interesting, okay, so let's look at, again, maybe let's just get to the video. Yeah, let's do that, actually. It's been like what? I mean, how long is this recording so far? We haven't really talked about this yet. So, again, this video I made. Ugh, I had it. Alright, so if you can see it, this is a 15. That's a 10, that's a 13. Okay. 15, 10, and 13. 4, 8, 12. 4, 8, 12. 7, 5, or what is that? That's your 7. 7, the hell is that? Oh, you're 3. 3, 5, 7, 11. 3, 5, 7, 11. So I just want to make sure, guys. Okay. And at the bottom, you don't have a ball here. You have a 2. You don't have 2 balls here, and you have a 14. So one must use their brain. Okay. So 2 and 14. 2 and 14. On the floor. Okay. On the floor. Right here, this is your 9 ball. Your 9 ball's here. Your 6 ball is here. Your 1 ball's here. It's kind of funny that your 6 ball, which is the new 8 ball, is outside the table. Okay. So look at it. If you turn your brain, like if you shift counterclockwise about 120 degrees, this would be the new top. Sorry, not 120 degrees, guy. 108 degrees. Right. So trying to get all my shit together here, guys. There. If you just go in normal order and you go 1, 2, 3, going from left to right, and then 4 connects to the 3, 5, 6, and then 7 connects to the 6, 8. So you see how you made a 1 when you had the 1, and then you made a new 1 when you had the 1, 2, 3. And then if you omit this one and just look at the 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, that is a new one. Okay, but that one is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're 1 of 7. Okay? And then your new one would be created when your 9 and your 10 are here, I guess. And then your new one when this row's all added, okay? So you can see all the, look, there's a V here, guy. Where your 2, 5, 6. There's a V here, 1, 3, 4, 10, 8, 7, 9. And there's a line here. It's like a VII or like a IV, you know? It's a V, it's a VVI. It's a VVI, which looks like an IX, which could be a 9, or that 1x could be a one-dimensional line going all the way around this x. So it could be like a circled x, which is like an 11, 9, 11, okay? So that's where I started this video, okay? So let's just... Alright, so I show you how to rack it, okay? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is horrible, but sorry. You know, when you're recording a video in someone's house and you're trying to be quiet because everyone's sleeping, you don't want to be the crazy person on the retard farm. There you go. And then your 11 goes there, but it wants to go there because your 12 is going to come next and go there. But then, you know, this all happens instantaneously, and balance has to be derived. Your 14 is going to want to eventually go beside the 13, but the 15 is going to push it, and then you get to there. So that's how we derive that. Okay. Now, there. You got to spin it. And now that matches this. So this was made for a reason, so I wanted to figure out why that was made for a reason, and I think I found out why by that explanation. Okay, that's what it looks like all pretty again. Okay, there's your 15, there's your 15, there's your 69, there's your 76, or your 67, there's your 32 or 23, there's your 26, there's your 20, like there's so many numbers that you can see here. Now, there's your cue ball. Now, who's to say the cue ball cannot be racked with the other balls? Because this is our number order. Our number order is 1, 0, 8, 9, 2. Oh, look at that. It's making a V. Sorry. 9, 2. Another V. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then we have to make 2 1 of 7s. 2 1 of 7 of 13s. And your 76 center matrix, your 9 by 9 matrix of 110, which would be 6 5 with the other stuff circled. Of 2143, you guy. So I've explained all that to death before. Okay, then you're left with these balls. Okay, these are the balls that are left. We have not used these, so there has to be a clarification, because in my cellular mathematics from before, right, our alphabet would be here. Yeah, this guy. Ugh. So from this guy over here, okay, when I did the first whatever numbers, okay, boom, alright, goes to here, and then I said, okay, well, because we're not going to lead it with a 1, because, you know, this is our technical 0, so let's just lead it with a 0 instead, because that's the next one, right? So then I did a bunch of zeros, but then I just repeated the pattern of, you know, 1, 0, 8, 9, 2, with a 0 in front, and I went down all the way to 3, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, you know? So I did that. So let's go back to pool the first. Ugh, that's horrible. I like 100% here. That all fits on the page, guy. So I added those numbers here, okay? So these are what I derived earlier, but this is the order in which I thought they should go, because, you know, you got to work with what you got. So I don't think we need that anymore. So these are the leftovers. So I can see a 1-1 coming before a 1-0. Just because of commonsensicalness. Now, 18, I don't have an 18. Okay? I don't, like, could a 15 be an 18? Because it's a 1 and a 5. Okay? But then you have to account for the circle, and the circle, maybe? Maybe that's your plus 3? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a 15. If it is a 15, it still doesn't work. Okay, because I have an 8 here. So, yeah. So, for all intents and purposes, you have to probably connect the circle, because this is a loop. Remember, everything's a finite loop. Okay, it reminds me of the 4 years of your Vesica Pisces going between Vesica. Like, I don't know what thing that's on I have, but it makes a loop. You have 4 years you're alternating between the masculine 4 years, the feminine 4 years, and then at the end of that, you're going to link it all back together to repeat the cycle of duality again. So, if we allow the cycle to complete, look, you're going to get a 13 next, and the 14 next, and the 15 next, you know? Just based on logic, commonsensicalness, okay? There you go. That seems like it's in order. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There you go. You have enough balls to put in a rack. What's left over? The 12 or the Trinity or the 21 or the 22, you know? What is it? What's the 12? Rated backwards is the 21. In a circle, it's the 22. Master number. Okay? I think it's important. Okay, so let's rack them. Now, the way I rack them is I did the exact same thing I did the last time with instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yada yada yada, I used the new cipher. That's all I did here, guys. 1, 0, 8, 9, 2, 7, 6, 5, 4 wants to go there, but it's going to slip up to there. 3 is going to want to go there, but it's going to slip up to there. What's after 3? It'll be the 11 ball. It's going to slip over to there. Then you're going to have your 10 ball. Thank you. Then you're going to have what? Your 13 ball. Thank you. 14 ball. And it's going to go there, but be pushed over there when the 15 comes in place, takes the last space. The 15 takes the last space, which is why the 14 gets pushed to the other side in both arrangements. Now, in the other way of doing the ball, like when I use the normal numbers, going 1 to 15, the way I rotate it is I go counterclockwise, okay? If you rotate the rack counterclockwise, the 15 becomes your new breaking ball, okay? Here's your 1 ball. If you rotate it counterclockwise, same thing's going to happen. 15 is going to become your breaking ball, but I don't think in this cipher that is the correct method. I think you want to break off the 14 because of all the 666s I found. So, okay. At this point, I didn't know this. I was philosophizing in silence. Now, again, look at this. Okay, look at the numbers you see here, guy. Okay, you got your 7, 4. Okay, the 2 is an interesting spot. The 2 is now in the 8 ball spot. But again, you have your 27, which is your n plus 1. Your 26, which is your n. Your 25, which is your n minus 1. Your 29. Okay, your 29 is 29 is right here. You know. Like the ending of this, or it's the seam of this, you know, whatever. I shouldn't have made that blue. Okay, so I just was noting in my head the interesting patterns I was seeing. Okay, how I always see like a 23. There's always got to be a 23. Okay, just interesting things. But which way does it rotate? So I rotated it, I think, eventually. Thinking in my head. Yeah, like I'm showing you numbers, 76, 26, all the important stuff, I guess. 64, 65, like, who knows, right? 28, yeah. Austin Lee Meredith is pretty important. There's your new one. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I didn't just do that. Dang nabbit. There you go, hold on a second. 2, there. It's your 2143, it's staring at you. See it? There. 2143. Okay, 2143 is very important because it is right here. 2143. 1 of 7 of 13 of 110, or 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 2143. And then you take the y back to the 76, and then that's how you get back to your 69s. And this is on the lower echelon, but when you go up the steps to the 76 and go across on the same plane, that 6436 will then become the third 69. If any of that makes any sense to you. So that is all very interesting. So now we've just, okay, all I've done so far is we're still decoding the video. So 2143 is right there. Here's 76, all those interesting numbers, yada yada yada. 1 of 7 of 13 of 2143. Where's your 110 here? Okay, where's your 110? Seriously. If this is your 13 and this is your, what's this? This is your 11. Okay, you have an 11, and what is a part of a circle? That could be your 1 of 7 of 13 of 110. 6 and 5 is 11, plus the circle it's part of is 110 of 2143. Okay? Oh my god. Okay, so people are at the door. This is fun. Anyway, so we got, creation code. This right here, random sequence, okay? Made from this random sequence. Sawyer! Oh my god, anyways, sorry, I apologize. It's very embarrassing how crotchety some people can be. What is this doing? What is this? Oh god. Sawyer! Sawyer! Come here! Okay? I'd rather you be right here than have to deal with that noise coming from upstairs, okay? So you're gonna be a good girl and you're just gonna sit here for a bit, okay? Okay. All that insanity is over. Lie down, please. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why everyone's freaking out. But apparently I'm not allowed to go knock on the door, Brad. Wow. Gotta get the fuck out of here. So yeah, there's creation, okay? Your table of creation, okay? Your table of creation. It's very interesting that this Sawyer, fucking Christ, Sawyer, get right here. I literally, if I had, I just don't want to deal. I don't want to deal with that noise anymore. Anyways, yeah, that's what happens. I fucking hate this place, but yeah, there you go. So yeah, I don't even want to continue now. I love how that happens. Yeah, we didn't start the fire. Okay, so yeah, there's that. I need to take a step away. So there's your dartboard. Anyways, I was watching. I really like to get to why I wrote this before I call it quits, because I really want to call it quits now. I have no intention of doing this. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, look at this. If you actually sum this, okay, right here, you have to plus 1 up here because the 0 is a 1 and the thing's not smart enough to understand. But if you actually sum up all these numbers, you get 109, and you have to understand that 109 is in a cell, which is like your 110, okay? And what are you making here? You're making a V at 15 digits, okay? Your 12 is out of here. Your 12 is the cue ball. You have 15 balls. They're going to seam right here on the 8, okay? The 8 is going to be your V, your 5 right here. This purple stuff, okay? Once again, it's very interesting. You have to understand the right hand of God before you can understand the left hand of God and the application of, let's say, energy. But it's the same thing with pool. Player 2 down here, okay? This is the cipher, but this is all a 1/8, okay? This is the knowledge that you get from deriving, I'd say, the right hand of God, okay? Okay? What do you have here? Look, because you have this black 6, which is like, let's say, the black ball in pool, like the 8 ball, the game over ball, and you have a cue ball here. And since the blue cells up here are all of the player 1 balls, and the red cells down here are the player 2, okay? And your 6 is kind of on this side, so that you gotta kind of pull over here. Anyways, your 1/8 is created when you encompass all of these, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls that he must sink plus the 8 ball, right? Same thing with the blue guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls he must sink plus the 8 ball. The 1/8 right here is not a 1/8 here because of these two very individual markers, a 0 and a 6. They could sum to, let's say, 7, or it could be a 60. Now, you have to know that this is a 1/1 and this is a 1/1. The 0 and the cue ball or the 6 are both 1/1s. Now, if you have there, the 108 is a 1/3, okay, because you have to encapsulate the 1/1. The same thing with the 765 is a 1/3. Now, if you were to attach the two 1/3s into a one-dimensional line, you could create a 1/4 that would attach the last cell of the 1/3 by the first cell of the 1/3. However, you'd be creating a 1/2 or a 92 in the middle, which is just a 1/1 and a 1/1, or you have a 1/3 here, you have a 1/3 here, you have a 1/3 here, and you have a 1/3 here. So you can either have 4 1/3s or 2 1/3s, a 1/4 and a 1/2. Okay, all it means is that you're going to have a whole bunch of like creases here, which if you look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if you look at these 8 cells, okay, from a different point of view, let's say going like this way, they could maybe make some X's or V's or W's or M's. And what I found out is that it actually makes 2 different M's, okay? Because look what happens. This 1/3 will be the stand of your M on centered here and centered here, okay? They're going to use a 1/3, okay, to go, across from here to here and from here to here, and they're connected by a 1/2 here and here. Okay, so basically that makes one type of M, but then if you just go from a 1/3 up here to a 1/4 with a 1/2 to a 1/3, that's a different M, okay? So a combination of 4 1/3s or 2 1/3s, a 1/4 and a 1/2 would make you 2 different M's. M is the Roman numeral for 1,000. If you add them together, you get 2,000. Now, remember, I said we're making a V out of 15 cells, okay? 15 cells, 15 balls that are in the goddamn triangle. 15's like 6, guys. So your V is actually broken into a left and a right hand side, where the left hand side, or the application of the right hand side of God, my right, in this case, the 1/8, which is a 1. Or you can have a 1/3, a 1/3, a 1/4, a 1/2, a 1/3, and a 1/3. You can have 7 different things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, forgot. A 1/1. Ugh, how do I put it in there? Well, it won't fit. Anyways, there's a 1/1 in there as well. Or maybe it's the, oh no, it's not a 1/1. It's the whole. I forgot. It's this. That plus 1, okay? Because this is just a 1/8. It is its own universe. There's no combining of shit, so I don't even have to draw these lines, is what I'm saying, okay? Ugh, I really wish I was working with Excel, not Google Documents. So this 1 by 8 is literally a 1, and this is actually 6 all in a circle, which is a 7. And now look at that. What is a 1 and a 7? 17 in Roman numerals is XVII. And what are you creating here in the blue? Look at this. That's an I. That's like a 1 over here, you know? That's your 1. There's your 1. What's over here? There, you got a V here. And you got a V here. Or you have a V here and an I, an XVII. Okay, what does that mean? You have right here is a V and a V, which account for your X. You have your V here, okay? Or sorry, your X is if you look at all these cells in terms of a V and a V, which are in X. And then you have your VII from a different point of view if you were to look at the same cells and divvy them up differently. So it's literally should be an X space VII. It's one or the other. Lovely. Let's bring it down to 18. Nice. Okay, so 2017 is our current year. If that's not obvious to some. Okay, so Kevin decided to look up 2017 when Kevin decided to decode pool. And look at this, 4687. All a very bunch of interesting numbers. 2940, 490. It's like a 7 by 7 with a 0 at the end. Anyways, did I not add this? Add. I don't think I've looked at this one yet. Okay, so before we go on to pool 2, let's take a look. Okay, let's just, I don't know. Right? A little bit of get your shit together. Okay? So, I'm trying. I don't know, we had somebody in the house and minds were lost. So, I haven't looked at this one yet, but, great. It's one of those big ones. Okay, so, I don't care about Obama. Okay, your use of money shows what you think of God. Yeah. I'd rather use my money to help others than to have a pretty box to live in, or a pretty box to be buried in. Sure, it's Stephen James Dyson. Man, that guy must feel like, I don't know, man, meek. He must feel this small sometimes. It's like the example of douchebag. I don't know what to say. Okay. Electric April 9 with magnetic April 12 equals child April 14. I don't know what that means, but it's very interesting. An inhumane dictator who tortured and murdered thousands of his own people. Sure. Unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. Yeah, well, I don't have time for that shit. I'm sorry. Enjoys the twisted ways of evil. No, I don't enjoy decoding all this. I don't enjoy having this always on my mind. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy waking up as Cypher did, and just ignorance is bliss, but you can't go back to sleep once you wake up. Ha ha ha. Whatever. What do we got? I just skimming. I don't care. Oh, there you go. Here's a good one. Austin is Phoenician. When he wishes the phoenix to rise, he tells himself, phone issue. The phoenix is rising, guy. It's just energy in a tetrahedron form. Probably has something to do with the constellation of Phoenix and how it lines up with Morwin Yan. at exactly 23.4 degrees, which is coincidentally the tilt of the Earth. Okay. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, then twice as much shame on you. I like that. The stone that is not cut out with hands and will break apart the four kingdoms. Four kingdoms, sure. The four pillars of the platform of slavery. Whatever that means. Okay, yeah, I don't care about Yeshua. I don't care about this. What is all this crap? So I feel today. Flat out lack of performance ability. My take is, given the context, nobody feels like throwing a big party. Okay, like I have some revelations and I have no one to share them with, and it really blows. There you go. Human angels do exist on Earth at this present time. There you go. Hopefully. Whatever that means, guys. Everyone, you are Lord Jesus Christ. I am Lord Jesus Christ. Once we are in tune with the Christ consciousness, which means you are wise to the cellular creation of Genesis 1, you're wise to cellular creation. Of number, you're wise to dots and lines and Roman numerals. You understand a cipher in a certain point of view. And then you can decode your synchronicities in your reality and your songs and your fucked up shit that goes through your mind, and it all means the same shit, just told a different way. There you go. Evolution is a scientific interpretation of God. Booyah. And the second angel poured his vial upon the sea. Whatever. I hope he is not expecting me to be able to think clearly. No, I actually have very little faith in other human beings thinking at all. I am the light and the dark. I am the good and the evil. I am that I am. Baked ham with pineapple rings glazed in maple syrup. Maple syrup, not this, whatever the hell it's called, you crazy Brits. That's like molasses sauce. I wouldn't want to eat that. Chaos thinks it's order, but order knows better. Okay. You gotta just live by the seat of your pants. Okay, seek the truth and the truth shall set you free. Oh, that's kind of uberly prophetic sentence. Fear itself is the danger, not what you're afraid to do. Exactly, guy. If you have fear of anything, you don't have my respect. Yeah. I laugh in your face at your fear of lack and your fear of death. I laugh right in your stupid face. I'm sorry. The return of Christ will be like a thief in the night. Sure, whatever. There you go. Resistance is one of the processes that masks fear. Austin has the ability to manipulate the timeline. No shit, you know why? Because I'm openly and honestly talking about truth. Doubling the cube arc of the covenant contains black hole. Tetrahedron is the 9 by 9 matrix. Okay, that is the hypercube. Okay, doubling the cube. What does that mean? Okay, there's your cube. Inside your cube, you have a dodecahedron. Inside your dodecahedron, you have your icosahedron. Inside your icosahedron, you have your octahedron. Look at that. We just made a fish, a really big fish, going like this guy. With the new head spawning off of this way, maybe the next whatever many rows of the cell. It's all about fish. Anyway, the very essence of sorcery and how it operates. Yeah, okay, spelling. You idiot morons. And I hate this because I already know your answers. Gematria and the Strong's Coordinates, Book of Secrets. Okay. Okay, whatever that means. There you go. Austin is the most guarded angel that ever lived. And if that was true, my little man actually was, that'd be awesome. But I don't actually think it means exactly what it says it means. I'm glad I'm not a man and have to ask girls out. I would die. Yeah, there you go. Khonsu is Phanes, is Mithras, is Helios, is Orion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. 1, 2, 3, 4 times said is. Whatever. But Orion. Exhibiting or characterized by meanness of spirit. whatever. You know, if I make you feel bad, that makes me laugh. Because you should be stronger than that. And by the power of the blood of Yeshua, I rebuke you. Okay, the water inside you. There you go. Hope the Jews will not be deceived by the servants. Okay, you know what that means. Not mentally competent to conduct one's affairs. Yeah, I guess I'm not allowed to drive, so sure. See, I need God so much right now, nothing makes sense. Sure, whatever that means. I had an opportunity to make a dream become a reality. I have an opportunity to. Yeah, this is pretty much what has popped up as of, like, I don't know, this morning or, like, the weekend. Yeah, there's an opportunity that might happen. I might be called upon to assist with farming. I have an opportunity to make a dream become a reality. Look at that, there it is. 2017, when Kevin decided to decode pool. Is the Christ entity whether he likes it or not, with the weather spelt wrong. Oh god. Anyways, it will appear when and where you least expect it. Exactly. Creation is in everything. Animals, plants, God-chosen people's seventh sign. Sure. NWO, New World Order, put the zombie virus in it. Whatever, I don't give a shit about that. If you take vaccines, you're retarded. God and the good will triumph over all that is evil. Sure. I don't really want to. Yeah, this is stupid. I don't really care how long this drags on. Sorry. I wonder if the real unit. No, they don't. Probably they use it for a gauge of how the slaves in Goy are evolving with their brain. But I don't know. Besides me, I don't think that's happening too good because none of you talk about creation of number. None of you talk about the proper number. None of you talk about the matrix. None of you do your work that you do on your own, but relate it to this. And the only fall guy in the earth, if this is wrong, is me. And you don't have the faith in me to even take what you do with your time and look at the numbers that I have presented here that are hidden in plain sight in Genesis 1 and relate it to your work so that we can all work together and just get closer to, I don't know, creating a cellular energy device that eliminates the need for, I don't know, solar, wind, hydroelectric dams, nuclear, coal, all types of energy that rape the earth, oil, gas, you know. Or we can just keep doing what we're doing, you ignorant fuck. Wow. I don't want worship, guy. I want you to use your brain and, I don't know, be a critical thinker maybe. Maybe just think the divine operating system, Austin Lee Meredith. Yeah, look at that. Sure. Sophia, please love me for who I am. Sincerely, Lucifer. Now, Sophia is kind of another name for, like, Mother Earth, I believe. Anyways. People are nice, but they were very mean to me. They are they are nice people, but they were very mean to me. Yeah. It's pretty much everyone. The word maybe is a wonderful word to learn from. Yeah. It's that easy, guy. It's not supposed to be hard. Anyways, that's interesting. Okay. So when I'm looking back at this over here before we move on, okay, that's the 43 at the end, okay? Out of all these numbers, the highest number of the 10 digits that we know from 0 to 9 is 3. So I thought that maybe let's go back to Game of Thrones and watch episode 3 again because, I was thinking about actually watching them in terms of let's go with 0 based. Watch the second episode, then the first episode, then the ninth episode, then the 10th episode, then the yada yada yada. But this would be the 4th episode. But I wanted to see what happened on the third episode of the first season of Game of Thrones because this is kind of like the first, let's just say the first iteration right here would be like this, and it ends with 3. So I just said let's just look at the season 1, episode 3. So I wrote the last scene of episode 3 called Lord Snow. Now this is that last scene. This is the last. This is the last scene, guy. Okay. That is the last scene. Okay. So that's why I had to look it up. What does it say? Money isn't everything. Okay. Yeah. It's useful. I need it. If I'm ever going to escape this, I need money. Hope your birthday is legendary. I don't really celebrate my birthday because there's no one worth celebrating it here with. Haven't done that for a while. I don't celebrate much anymore. It's all pagan bullshit. Fragments are not parts of the whole. Okay? You need to understand the oneness. And that is exactly what cellular mathematics and cellular energy and cellular earth teach you. A oneness. A divine, unique oneness between all living things and all inanimate things. It's like the Force, you idiots. Cursed World Trade Center bombers. Okay, burn the Babylonian Talmud like a pile of excrement. Who can blame a child that's been through that? Okay. That could be my story, that could be your story, that could be someone else's story. We all have shitty stories, some more shitty than others. And I sympathize. Trust me, I sympathize. I want to stop the shittiest days of life so that my kids don't have to grow up in this world of shit where they have to get a job so they can earn money to live instead of just, I don't know, listen to daddy and do some math and buy some magnets and be smart about it all. Happy birthday, Jesus. Exhibits symptoms of insanity. Okay. Tetrahedron molecule YHWH. Yeah, that's what it is. The 9 by 9 cell. We're solving for tetrahedron. I've said that before. It sounds like I'm repeating myself again, which makes me irritated. I fathered the Masons. She mothered the 33rds. What does the fox say? I know that's a horrible song. That person made a lot of money by being a pretty big douchebag. The hungry will be satisfied. Hopefully, with free energy, you can have water pumped. And if you can pump water, you can grow agriculture. And if you can grow agriculture, you can farm. And if you can farm and you have a residence or a shelter that you can keep heated or cooled, and that's heaven. That's the dream. Spending time with your loved ones and worrying about what you're going to eat tomorrow. Hey, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Pretty much a good description of Kevin. Alright. Ruby Goldberg. One thing happens causing something else to happen. Positive power. Okay? Positive reinforcement is a good way to train your dog. Trust me. Love the Lord God and give thanks. Uncontrolled body movements. Not yet, guy. Okay. William Wallace. Okay. BBC. All these British things, guy. Supercomputer. The ancient Hebrew language is angelic script. Look at that. Yeah, it's just a bunch of dots and lads, and I don't really care to learn that right now. My mom is a gray now. Perfect. Whatever that means. I know not a brain the betrayer. Sure. Oh, Austin Lee married death. Has nothing to hide. No, I don't. The love of the true supreme creator. You think you are the highest. Think again. These are just beautiful. All three together. The veil is lifted for all to see the truth. Kevin Arnold Ashburner is the secret code of life. Sure think Kevin Arnold Ashburner. Okay, the veil is lifted for all to see the truth. Okay, it's here. It's math. You have to actually put in the effort to do it. You lazy sacks of shit. Told you you were a sack of shit for a reason. It's not because I was trying to be vulgar. It's because I'm hilarious. Because I am the Joker. I am the comedian. I am the darkest comedian there ever was. The driest Canadian there ever was. Okay? There. There. Understand that. And if I see anyone else put up a video saying the truth behind blah 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 and they're not talking about cellular mathematics or creation, they can go fuck themselves, okay? Like, you guys should just keep quiet and maybe learn something. Okay, so like, yeah, the true creator supports the right to defend life. Yeah, I think we should stand up for each other. You know, this is bullshit right now. We are in a computer simulation. Okay, if the resolution of reality, this 5D reality we perceive, you know, these three-dimensional objects, including our universe, in our two-dimensional screen is a certain resolution. So whatever you want to think about computer simulation, guy. Oh, look at that. Ophiuchus, Antares versus Orion. These are all. I think that's a star in Orion, and I think that's a star in this. Well, Ophiuchus is the 13th constellation, and Orion is the 14th constellation. That's a good segue. I'm gonna stop with the, you know, last scene of episode 3 called Lord Snow. Now, let's get back to Pool. Now, in this depiction, we're gonna skip this depiction because I want to talk about 14 and 13 for a second. 14 and 13 are right here. 14 and 13 equate to 27, or it's the circle 26, which is like your God, your A to Z, your Alpha to Omega. Your 13, 14 is kind of like your South and your North Pole. Okay, your remember you have 12 zodiacs. Okay, that you know of, and the of your icosahedron, okay, which is inside the dodecahedron. Inside the dodecahedron, do you have an icosahedron? The icosahedron has 12 vertices. The 12 vertices are going to be centered inside a shape with two poles. The dodecahedron will have a north and a south pole, what I believe are the 13th and 14th poles. Now, okay, Ophiuchus, Orion. Now, this is also interesting. 13 and 14 is also a way of looking at 3.14 because 3 and the 1 can just be 3 point, and that's your 1, 4. Because the 0 is equal to a 1 from a certain point of view, and that's your pi. And it can also be your 2. Okay, 27 is like your 2 with a dot with a 7 in between. Like your 2, 1 of 7s. Because in creation, you got to look at both, you know, your 1 of 7 of 13 and your 1 of 7 of 13. Like on the diagonal, you know, the X, Y, and Z, probably. So, that's all I wanted to talk about. But so, well, what else? What else we got? I don't know. Is the key to our salvation? Who cares about that? 333 doesn't really get used. Emanates through the planet Jupiter. Jupiter, you know, Zeus. Okay. All things are possible if you believe. If you do not believe in perpetual motion and you don't believe that the cellular mathematics with I believe that are needed to create a cellular free energy device resembling or depicting cellular Earth, then, you know, go somewhere else for your truth. I'm sure Richie from Boston will help, or like Zachary K. Hubbard or somebody like that. Okay? Okay, so now, again, like we're gonna get to the rest of this. I already did this. This is talking about the 12 plus the 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 12. Yeah, I got it. 21, 22, 14, all these things. I don't know what I'm doing here. I guess I should speed this up. They take as long as they take. Okay, so I rotated this way and I don't like it because now the 15 is centered that you break off of. And your 5 would be your 8 ball. And to me, the 5 doesn't do it for me. Okay? And if I were to do the numbers this way, there's something about this arrangement I don't like. I like the 7-4. I like the 1-7-4. Okay? 26 is nice, 28 is nice, 18, 9. There are some interesting things here, but overall, I think 15, 16, 31, 32, 33. It's 33. We're going to have 33, really. There's 23, there's 21, you're 12. Yeah. They're the same but different. 76, you're 64, you know. You're 8 by 8. You're 67. Your 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Okay? Whatever. There's gotta be something different now. I like this. That sucks. Anyway, whatever, don't need that anymore. So, back to here in a second. Fuck, Appleton run. Okay, so I have to decode this for you, okay? You guys don't understand. Alright, there, I turned it again, and now I'm seeing it differently. And at this point, I kind of had a eureka, because I saw right away off the bat, I saw the 26, or the +1 for this circle, the +2 for this circle, the 28, the Austin Lee Meredith connection right off the break. I like that. I like the 6 in the middle because it keeps saying 6 faces of the cube are complete. The cube is complete. Okay? I don't want to think in terms of 8. I don't think the vertices come first. I think the faces are more important than the vertices, even though the vertices circuits are needed for. Sorry, the 120 volt circuits will be off of the 8 vertices. The 220 volt circuits will be off of the 6 faces. Okay? I do think this has a. Again, the 8 ball and the 6 ball, Adam McGarrett is your 14. I just think it's just interesting how they switched. Normally, everyone knows the 8 ball goes in the middle. Isn't it clever that what if the 6 ball's supposed to go in the middle? And the 6 ball matching the color of the leading ball is also very interesting. Very synchronistic. I like this one. Okay. I also like the fact that a 15 and a 3 is an 18. An 18 is a 9. Okay? A 9 by 9 matrix is 81 cells. Okay? I like that. Okay? I still like the fact that we have our, like a 26 or 27 or 28 or 29 or 25. You have your n minus 1, your n plus 1, your n plus 2, your n plus 3. I like that. I like how you have your 21 here. I like how you have 23 here. I like how you have your 28 here. Your 28 is again Austin Lee Meredith. Your 18, your 28, your 18. It's very interesting. I like this. Something just tells me this is right. You're 67, you're 64, you're 76, you're 47, you're 74. Very important right here. This guy right here is super important. You're 44. Your 44 is just the 4 dots and the 4 lines of your field of vision that you perceive reality in, okay? Your 4 dots and your 4 lines that connect the rectangle of your 2D vision that you see 3D objects in 5D Earth. Now, I bet you most of the people don't even watch it this far, but whatever. You have to have the desire to learn. There you go, you're 81. You're 9. Oh, there's a 9. 9 by 9. Okay? What else did I see? You're 52 weeks in a year. 13 months. Okay? Your 13 month, 20, oh, holy shit. You're 15 and 13 are your 28 days of your 13 months of your 52 week year. Time. Maybe that's a 6 and a 0. Or a 6 and a 0. Maybe that's why there's 260. You have 6. This 6 in the 7 honeycomb is a 60. Or this 6 in the triangle is just another circle. Could be the other 60. Maybe why there's 60 seconds and 60 minutes. Another 18, 25, 52 again, Time? Denominations of time, people. 28 days? 28 days. No? Maybe? 26, 27, 28? Okay, so here we go again. I took it out and I put it again. I started 1, 0, 8, 9, 2, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 11, 10, 13, 14, 15. Okay? Laid it out again. See? Again, 26, 27, 28. 28 days. No. Right here. There you go. If this is a 12 and that's a 14, that's your 26, 27 for this circle, 28 for this circle. We have 28 days and 13 lunar months. Now look at this. If you have, let's look at the first four, this little cube here, with the 6 and the 14, the 4 and the 11. What do we got? There's your 10, okay? There's your 10. That's your 1, 1, and we're going to look at this as a 1 all by its own, okay? So we're going to look at this as a 1 here, this 3 ball is a 1, and this 14 ball is a 1. So let's just say that this is a 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 lunar months, 28 days, okay? 364, okay? Okay, I've done this. Okay, that's all the 666 stuff. We already done that. So let's just look at the way it works out. So if we actually, like, the gray cells over here, these are your... Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Totally forgot about that one. Okay. Oh, where is it? Whatever. It's here. Here's your 322, okay? Check it out. If we just look at player 1, this top guy here is player 1, okay? These are the 7 balls that they have to sink. The 1, the cue ball, the 8 ball, the 7 ball. Sorry, in order would be the 1, the cue ball, the 8 ball, the 9 ball, the 2 ball, the 7 ball, the 5 ball, okay? 7 balls. And look at this. In this column, you have 3. In this column, you have 2. In this column, you have 2. Here's your 322 for your ego. Now, the collective ball or the single ball, you know, like the 1 ball that's like, copy, paste, 1, okay? The 1 ball that's shared is a 6, okay, is here. And your player 2 right here, okay, look, you have, yeah, you have a 1, sorry. Yes, you have a 1 by 1 here, a 1 by 1 here. That should not be there. And a 1 by 1 here. Okay, 15, 10, and 11. Okay, what is that? 25, 35, 36, 369. Sure, 369 code. Why not? Ah, 369, sure. And you're going to have a 2 and a 2. So it's like a 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. It's, again, a 3, 2, 2 again. Just like up here. I find that very interesting. So we go to pool 3. Okay, now we're going to take a look at what happens when we actually look at these triangles when they're properly depicted, which you can't do in the grid, okay? Can't do it because you have a row of 1 by 1, you have a 1 by 2, you have a 1 by 3, you have a 1 by 4, and you have a 1 by 5. And unless I was able to have an Excel spreadsheet with all the cells on 45-degree angles, I could not properly depict it, so I have to do it this way, okay? Now this way is, here, this is Armageddon, okay? One of 4 of 5 of 6 of 0, but this 1 here is a 0. It's just grayed out a little bit because if I'm going to add stuff, it has to be a 1 because 0 is equal to 1. You have to understand that. Anyway, let's take a look at what we got. Okay, so again, your cue ball is a 12. You have a row of a 1, and then a 2, and then a 3, and then a 4, and a 5, all racked in the triangle. Okay. Now, what is the first ball? The first ball is a 14, right? Boom, 14. Okay. Then you have the third row is 7, 6, 10. Okay. 14, 7, 6, 10, and then your last row will be 1, 8, 9, 3, 15. 1, 8, 9, 3, 15. Okay. Boom. And the other one, your 2 and your 4, are going to be 4, 11, cue ball, 2, 5, 13. Okay, 411, cue ball, 2, 5, 13. So let's group them into this. Okay, so 12 is all by himself. Then you have a 42 or a 24, and then you have a 153 or a 531. Now, apologize. I have to go to the washroom. I will be back. sir. Sorry. Yeah, that had to happen. I apologize. I was dancing. So, last thing I want to be doing right now. Again. So, alright, what do we got here? What I found was interesting is this number right here. What happens 12 times 42? 12 times 42 plus 24 plus 3, because you're 1 plus 2 here. Okay, so what I did is I did 12 times 42 plus 24 plus 3 actually equals 531, right? 12 times 42 plus 24 plus 3. I did 45. Why did I do 45? 42. 42. Anyway. So that's interesting, 531, 531. What I saw that I found interesting was, look at this. Okay, here you have a 2. This is Armageddon. This should be an X. This is your V. This is your I in Roman numerals. I have them depicted as numbers because I added them. What I did with this is your 1, 3, 5. Okay, all in blue. 1, 3, 5. And this is your 2 and your 4. Now, the reason I color coded these blue like 1, 3, 5 is because they only consist of 1, 3s, and 5s. So if these are the 1, 3, 5 cells, and the 1, 3, 5s are in the 2, 4, and the only leftover cells in the 2, 4 are 2, 4, and a 0, and you have a 2 and 11 right here and right here in the 9x9 matrix, which is like we're focusing on this V, on this, and you have a 2 and 11, and you have 4 and 11. I just think that's very interesting. So all I did down here was I added the cell here with the cell corresponding to it, 4 and the 8 is 12. So look at this. This is interesting, okay? I found this to be quite interesting. What is this right here? Look at this. Sum is equal to 42. Okay? What is this? So, okay, this is a 42. Okay, 9 plus 16 plus 17 is a 42, which I find very interesting, very interesting. 42 with a circle around it, sure. That's 42 if you read it backwards, okay? And then 2 12s is 24, which again is like a 42. 2 12s is like another 24, which is like a 42. So this literally adds up to 42. That is like a 42, and this is like a 42. And what is this? Okay, that sums to 27. That's where I got this from, all that stuff from. So I just wanted to note that. It was very interesting. Let's go to the last thing. Okay, so now if we actually show you now the diamond, okay? Remember that this and this cell are like kind of, let's do it a little bit better, are kind of like blocking the magnetic field from coming down the Trinity in the center, okay? We talked about this a long time ago. This is why the magnet's at a 23.4 degree tilt or something, okay? Now, look at this. I find this to be quite fascinating, okay? So, again, this orange shit right here, these are your Roman numerals. I drew out the Superman cell, okay? The diamond, because everything's diamonds. We're talking about pool. I think that's something to do with diamonds. And then once again, I wrote my 531, I wrote my 12 for my cue ball, I got my 24 for my 42 for the row of 2 and the row of 4, and then I have them all laid out here because look at this. The 76 would be the point of contact on which you break, right? That would be like your 1 ball, okay? 76 is like a 13 encircled, which is like a 14, which is what you're actually breaking on is a 14. That's interesting. That's your 1. So then the 13, 10, 13 would be like your 3, okay? Because it goes 1, 3, 5. And you need that, okay? You need these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? You need 1, 2, 3. You need 1. So that's that stuff taken care of, okay? Now your 42 here is interesting. Let's look at that a little bit more detailed, okay? So let's go down to here. Now, again, your 1 is 1. Your 3, 1 by 3 is your 1 by 3, and your 1 by 5 is your 1 by 5. Now over this, you need a 1 by 2 and a 1 by 4 and a 1 by 2 and a 1 by 4 to finish off the C. It's like you need 2 of these, It's like you need a Really? I hate that. Sorry. It's gotta be in the middle. Alright. So I find that to be interesting, how you need one of these, but two of these. Like a 3, 2, 2, you know? Want to talk about 3, 2, 2? Anyone? So here's an also interesting thing. Let's start counting the perimeter cells. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, just like the cue ball. Okay? You have 12 cells. Okay? How many cells are in the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you have 12 cells in the middle, which is the same as your cue ball. And you have 9 cells in the middle. Okay? Sums to 21 cells. Okay? And what we got here is we have a 7 by 5 matrix. Where these 21 cells come from? So there's 21 cells of 35 cells. Look at that. 21 divided by 35 is 0.6, guy. You know? You're 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. And your 6 pockets for your 11 sixes. 0.6, guy. So that I found fascinating. Now, let's talk about the evolution now. So what I think is needed. So because this is literally supposed to be a 0, right? It's supposed to be 1 of 4 of 5 of, sorry, 1 of 1 of 4 of 5 of 6 of 0, but a 0 is a 1. That's why I left it dark. So in theory, if this is a special cell, so is this cell and so is this cell. So what I did in the next diagram down here is I actually colored this one in purple, this one in purple, and this one in purple. Now, if we count up all the purple cells and the pink cells, because we're going to talk about these later, because look what this makes. Okay, this makes a 1 by 3. This makes a 1 by 3, but it's made out of little 1 by 2s. It's made out of 3 1 by 2s. Just like Armageddon up here. Okay, seriously, guy. Like on your zoom mode. Right up here. Okay, this is a 1 by 3. This is a 1 by 3. That is a 1 by 3 right here. And that's a dot and that's a dot. But once you break this into a 1 by 2 and a 1 by 2 and a 1 by 2, you can start to cascade all your 1 by 3s. Understand that. So that's what I did here. You can't do it to the top part. You can only do it to the left, the right, and the bottom, which reminds me of a big dish that would hold something like 6 pockets of the pool table, which is in a rectangle fashion. You know? Like that. Okay, and you gotta imagine that on the top here, this is just a 1 by 2 with a 1 by 2. Okay? It's just, there's like a floaty thing or a lid. One of the two. So I just depicted one by like the gray cells, and then this one would be like the one that's emboxed. Okay? Has a square around it. So I found it interesting that if we count these, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cells. How many pool balls are in the rack? 15. How many pockets are on the table? 6. Okay? Look at this. It's even showing your 3, 2, 2, you know? Why did I put a 2 there? Oh, yeah, the 1 by 2. Like, you have 3, 2, 2. And there's your fucking V. You have to make the V. Anyway, it's just edges of the box. You have a 3, you have a 2, and 2. You don't have a lid, okay? We're assuming that there's something in and out of the page to contain this, right? So that's your 3, 2, 2, which could be like your 5, 2, 2. Understand? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So what I find interesting now is that when what did I do here? What did I do here? Oh yeah, I added. Okay, so what I did here. Okay, so anyways, that's done. We talked about this. I think this is pretty much like pool in a nutshell. Okay. And what I decided to do now was I took 4 and 5 and I added them and I multiplied them. So 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 plus 7 is 12. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 plus 7 is 13. 6 times 7 is 42. These are my cells. Okay, and I have ones on top. Okay, and then what I did was I summed this stuff, and I get 34. I sum this stuff, I get 97. I sum them all together, I get 131. I add the 4 ones on top because the other floating or it's a lid. So I add the plus 3 here. And what I find is 134, which I find is very interesting because what I see here, there's 15 balls in the rack, but you actually have 3 4s, right? 3 4s and a 1 by 3, you know? 1, 3, 3, 4, 1, 3, 3, 4. You know? And your 3 and your 1 is like a 4, and your 4 and your 3 is like a 7, 4, 7. Maybe, maybe not. And what I also see in this grid now, this matrix, is like, what do you see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1 by 1s. I see 6 1 by 1s. I see 2 2 by 2s, which means a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2. But every 2 by 2 is consisting of 1 1 by 2, 2 1 by 2, 3 1 by 2, 4 1 by 2s. 4 1 by 2s. So you really have 8 1 by 2s. And then you have 1 2 by 6. The whole thing as a 1 guy, which is just basically 2 1 by 3s. Okay, so what do you really have? You really have 16 total cells. You have 2 1 by 3s, 8 1 by 2s, which is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16 total cells. You have 15 balls plus the cue ball in pool with 6 pockets. Again, okay, the pattern of the balls matters. I believe it has something symbolic with this creation code. Okay, I think this is right. I think seeing the 322 everywhere is right. I think seeing the 11 sixes is right because of how many times 66 likes to show up in this thing. I find it interesting that this right here, this 1 by 3 to here, this 1 by 3 to here, this 1 by 3 to here, and this 1 by 3 to here makes one type of M, or a 1 by 3 to here, a 1 by 4 to here, with a 1 by 2, and then a 1 by 3 to here would make a different M, which would count as an MM or a 2000. And this is basically this side, the right side of my right side of a V, where one is a 1 by 8 and the other one is 6 different things, okay? It's a 1 by 3, 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 it's a 1 by 2, and a 1 by 4. 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. All together acting as a new 1, so it's 6. A circled 6 is a 7. 2017 is our current year, okay? Team B, I mean, the whole thing sums to 109 in a square, which is like 110, which is definitely synchronistic, okay? You have 13 different between the spelling of Q and the letter Q, and your cue ball is the 12 ball, which I find very interesting, which is 2 6s, which is the new 8 ball. And 6 and 8 tells you how many faces and vertices on a cube, which is 14, which is the top ball that you smash with the 12 ball, making it 26, 27, 28. Austin Lee Meredith connection, okay? And if this is a 1, this 14 is a 1, and this 11 is just a 1, 1, then the 4 and the 6 would be 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 months, 28 days. That's your freaking calendar, your lunar cycle. 52 weeks. 18, which is a 9 by 9 to make 81 cells, where the last digits are your 81. Just like the last digits created in this matrix are an 81. Okay, so Okay, so let's end with a bang. Yeah, I don't know. I I don't know. What am I gonna say? Okay, like let's just sum it all up here. What do we got? No one in the no one in Earth breaks with the 12 and uses the 6 ball as the 8. 4794. I like that. 47 one way, 49 the other way. That's the 47 dog or backwards for God, and 49, which is like a 7 times 7. Okay. 4026, also very interesting. 40 is base 5 for Jesus. 26 is the alpha. You know, here's your O2 or your 20. 20 is half of 40, which is very important. And your 64 is 8 by 8. Yeah. Every time I see a 67, I always think that's important, or backwards 76. There's your 17 or your Q, or your 7, 6, and 1, or your 1 of 7 of 13. 1 of 7 of 13. Pretty obvious when looking backwards. And if 1 is a 0 and these aren't 1s or 0s, then the 110 can be 1 like 1, and that could be your 0, you know? 1 of 7 of 13 of 110. I don't think I can get 2143 out of that. So, anyways, that's what I think of that. Alright, so let's see what happens. Alright, that's great. Yeah. In my heart, I feel a lot of love, but I don't always show it. That's definitely true. Thugs will kill you if you don't come through with the goods. Oh, so like what I have to like what prove cellular energy or I will be killed. Great. I like being a martyr. Sex and love are what Lucifer needs, and well his wife. No, I got nothing there. The word and is sometimes not required to reveal the truth, except if needed in a sentence. Let's just make it a little bit better. I don't need to be changing everything. God enslaved the virgin who is called Mary. What a common name. Yeah, great. Servant to the New World Order? Okay, Stephen James Dyson. Give me some money to buy some magnets so I can create a cellular energy device. You will all literally say anything to suit your lies. Stephen to say, don't believe the lies. Their bark is worse than their bite. Nice. The four main names for the beautiful bitch. She seems to like Goiko Lassie. I don't know what that means. And so do I. Wow, it's all crazy craziness. I gave you my genuine poetry, yet you genuinely gave me nothing. Wow. Oh, look at that. Okay. Here men from planet Earth first set foot upon the moon. We came in peace for all mankind. July AD. Whatever. Answer the door. I will have. Okay, this wasn't a very good one. No one on Earth breaks with the 12 and uses the 6 ball as the 8. I need my mom back in some way, in some form, while I'm still here trying to make it. Wow. That's completely backwards. The end time transfer of wealth to establish God's covenant in earth. That sounds like a promising sentence. The end time transfer of wealth, let's say from the assholes to the non assholes, to establish God's covenant in the earth, let's say the Ark of the Covenant in the earth, which just means a whole bunch of cellular energy devices for us all. Use. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I make mistakes, and I'm probably the biggest man to admit to that. Hmm. The number that has been lost or hidden because of fear and non-understanding. I don't know, maybe that number has something to do with sixes. 15 is just like a clever six, you know? Oh, duh. Okay. It's uncanny. Yeah, no kidding. It's uncanny how many of my entries have the same numerical values. If you see that, then maybe you have to pay more closer attention to the numbers. Great, the dog went upstairs. I'm gonna have to hear about it and be yelling and screaming. The dog went upstairs. It'll be fucking great. I can't wait to hear it. There you go. Right on cue. Breaking somebody's heart only to fix the own is not the best to do. Yeah, if you're all part of O1. Please stop, see the words in ca. Yeah, okay. No, whatever. There you go, November 18th, Spiritual Warfare and Changing the Quantum Matrix. Alright, we're November 15th today. So, November 18th, Spiritual Warfare and Changing the Quantum Matrix. Lovely. That's lovely. Ye be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which in heaven is I'm not perfect, God. I'm never going to be perfect. No one of you is ever going to be perfect. If you're going to be perfect, you're going to be very boring. I don't need a bunch of boring people here. Purgatory is a sort of cosmic clearinghouse, a place of enforced learning. Yeah, I feel like I am in purgatory to learn about energy, and apparently, I don't know, maybe to pass this level, I have to teach you. People who don't want to learn about it, about truth. I love that. That's a job I wanted. That's a job I wanted to not be paid for. There you go. All the planets are moving direct, meaning that no planets are retrograde. What is that happening right now? I don't know. God, your husband is sorry he couldn't resist your daughters. Sure. 12 golden sun disks being activated into 12 helix spirals. Really? And the dog came back down. Minimal yelling. Look at that, Eureka. I love saying Eureka. How many times did I say Eureka? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times Eureka. Really? Really? 11 times Eureka. Huh. Huh. Okay. Um. I told the universe that if I'm not having fun doing it, I'm not doing it. Well, definitely. If you don't like something, change it. Jibril, light years of love and understanding, the Force will be with you. I don't know what that means. Jibril. Nice. A raving narcissistic madman hell-bent on the destruction of the planet. Yes. Of the plan of ET to keep you a slave, a mental slave that doesn't teach you about fucking dots and lines and counting. Like it's fucking hard. And I get so much ignorance back from a bunch of fucking turkey slaves. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's true. Hopefully you will see the light and take an alliance with me. Zachary James Char. Why would I even know that? Doors to heaven are closed for haters of Jesus Christ and the Holy One. Yeah, because it's just a number, and you need to have that number as your consciousness. Yeah, you gotta con the Connors guy. Saturn 8th house, Uranus 1st house, Pluto 10th house? What the hell? Oh, that's something about Vedic astrology or something. That's not like creation stuff. The stories of Christ has been twisted by modern day Christianity. You mean the assholes that ask for money from you and give you nothing but lies? Yeah. Well, look at that. Maybe that's my buddy. Yeah. Insulted. That should be a D at the end. That's why I quit my fucking job. Yeah, the fact that you're reading this is a miracle in itself, don't you think? Yeah, I understand that. It's a pretty cool list at the end here. Shell companies are one of the most common means for laundering money. Yeah, and they all do it. They all take advantages of the little laws of life that you and I, they don't pertain to us because we're not rich assholes. When you were talking about the shift for you in abundance and new life. Lovely. Okay. Anyway. Okay, hope you get it by now. I'm tired of repeating it myself. When you were talking about the shift to your independence and new life, nice. Reject 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow. Eureka 11 times and reject 11 times mean the same number. That's interesting. Anyways, look at these guys. 295. Yeah, my little quandary about this isn't gonna factor into the English and simple lists anytime soon. Okay. Take it for what it is. Yeah. What is that? Okay, if this is like your 1 and that's your 2 and that's your 3, you know? I'm trying to think about your fingers because your thumb's not your finger. So maybe if your seam is your middle finger, maybe these 3 can be substituted by that. You know what I'm saying? Your 3. I'm trying to think 2 2. It's something about ego if they do it. Okay. Like, I'm not talking about anything that you have to actually do. It's magnets, it's perpetual motion. They just have to exist. Maybe preferably in a buckyball so that the heat can be collected and the oxygen can be collected, and maybe you can have a really kick-ass greenhouse guy. Okay, like literally, guys. I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than okay. Yeah, think what you want to think. So, I don't know. I think I properly broke this down. I know I probably stayed up till like 4 in the morning doing shit like this, and then I slept, and I thought about it, and I did what I just did, and either it was helpful or it was completely benign and useless. But I'm pretty sure that like, if I had to take bets, I think that this is correct. Like, I'm pretty sure that high up Masons would be able to confirm, but like how likely is that to happen? Probably not, because, I really, yeah. I have little respect for anyone part of a secret society who hides truth from others, especially for those in government office. Because isn't the whole point of government so that the people governing do not have a better standard of living than the ones they govern? Doesn't that sound like Animal Farm, where the pigs are more equal than the other animals of the farm? Okay? So, like, I'm all about not having too many pigs. Like, I really, like, I'm sick and tired of the waste of time of human beings and what they equate. truth with between what is needed to govern the mental. Okay, you're all a bunch of fucking gut mind slaves. Okay, you are all a bunch of mind slaves, and I am trying to help you, and it is taxing. I'm sorry that it's not like all like sunshine and lollipops and roses and moonbeams and stuff, but like I don't even like yeah, think you know very much about the truth. Okay, like I'm gonna probably end it there. Okay, let's just maybe go back to this very important picture. Okay. Sure, Morpheus, piece of shit. Again, remember that you have 72 and okay, obviously there's 108, okay, which would be your like 108. And then you have your 72, which you have to add your five vertices, your five exterior lines, and then you're gonna have your five. Okay, so what is that? It's 72 plus 15, which equals 82, 87. And then you're gonna have to add your five. Okay, I I don't know if you can see that well enough. Um, okay, does that make sense? This is the face of a dodecahedron. It looks kind of similar to the Superman S, which is depicted here. Okay? Which is depicted here. Really? This thing. Okay? Like this. The diamond, you know? Well, let's just. I fucking hate commercials, guy. Especially that one. That one's horrible. Okay, like if you want to get on board with thinking properly and understanding the truth about the cellular nature of mathematics and everything in nature and everything that's created by man and the joke of the assholes or the cipher of the assholes. Yeah, all right. I think I said enough. I don't even have the window up for the thing, the live stream. So, you know, no, you don't. Yeah, the Matrix. Do you know what I'm talking about, guy? Armageddon. You're all a bunch of slaves, guy. But anyway, that was uplifting enough as it is. So, anyways, I hope all this work was for like, I don't know, good practical use and application of maybe understanding whatever the hell it is I was talking about the other day about pool balls. Okay?